Mín mágad a cahirirlí agus cógáird agus don bhirt ar é nua agus is privilege amach sa maithí agus guim gahra ormh idir ról nua agus cinse ba mise da chrá le ceistena gan éon drogel orm. My question specifically relates to the new Business and Human Rights Plan. 4 years after the previous plan came to an end, we're still waiting for that plan. And I'm asking in particular, in relation to that plan, why has there been a delay? I understand the forum has been set up, but no terms of reference have been set up, established, and so on. Given the importance of a human rights plan, please give me some dates today.
Agus current policy go dtíon rin gormagad é hachta san cheist agus the sim alanan san issue. So we recognise the importance of businesses having due regard to issues of human rights. There is a strong expectation from Irish society that their values are reflected in the way Ireland does business. Businesses are responding, and positively, since we launched the first national plan on business and human rights in late 2017. We became the 19th state in the world to develop a national plan, and in December 2021, a review of the implementation of that plan was brought to government. It found that over 91% of the commitments under that plan were achieved. Stakeholder engagement is an integral part of developing the second national plan. And the first step in this process was the public consultation that the Department of Foreign Affairs and my department published last summer, which sought the opinions of stakeholders to inform the development of a second plan. 11 submissions were received from a wide range of interests. The second step was the creation of a stakeholder forum, which convened on the 14th of December last. The forum brought together representatives of government, civil society, trade unions, business and officials from my own department. The purpose of the initial meeting was to draw out the common themes that emerged from the public consultation process, to seek clarification and to elaborate on certain recommendations with a view to establish the likely scope and content of a new national plan. A meeting with officials from other relevant government departments will take place before the stakeholder forum is convened again. These meetings will take place shortly, and I will inform the Deputy when they take place and give you the dates in advance. That work is currently underway by officials. The new plan will cover a multi-annual timeframe, as was covered in the first plan. It will build on the achievements of the first plan, but it will also reflect new developments in the international understanding of business and human rights, including new EU instruments. It will align with commitment in the programme for government to ensure that the action plan on business and human rights is further developed, to review whether or not there is a need for greater emphasis on mandatory due diligence. And my ambition is to finalise this plan this year.
I appreciate the Minister's ambition, and he says that the implementation showed 91% of the commitments were implemented. Let me tell you what the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission said in relation to that. While a high implementation rate is reported, there was a failure to meet key commitments within agreed timeframes, and the plan focused on promotion rather than mandatory and ambitious requirements. We're talking about a human rights plan here to embed it in all companies, and the importance of that, Minister, can be seen. I don't know if your attention was brought to the Irish Business and Human Rights, a snapshot of large firms operating in Ireland, and that really is a damning report. It's 45 pages, 3 measurement teams, governments embedding respect and grievance procedures. 86% of the companies surveyed scored less than 50% of the available remarks. 28% of the companies scored no points on the human rights due diligence, and then we had the state bodies which featured very badly. State-owned enterprises fared poorly, with 5 of them scoring less than 1 point. We're talking about Quilcha, CIE, Dublin Airport, on Post, etc., etc. That's a human rights report in January of this year.
Thank you, Deputy, and I am aware of that report, but I think also we also need to acknowledge that there has been progress. We haven't seen the level what we want, and one of the benefits of the stakeholder forum is that we could engage all those parties around the table to directly reflect on that level of progress. There are many businesses who are utilising the United Nations guiding principles and the OECD guidelines, particularly for multinational enterprises on responsible business conduct. And there's a much greater engagement in this space. And I've also, within our own department, we've established a responsible business forum, which I chair, where we're getting all of the parties in the business side around the table and outlining the importance of pushing on this. And we have engaged at European level proactively and working with NGOs on CSRD and on CSDD, and I will continue to do that. And yes, we have a lot more progress to make. That's why I think the stakeholder forums are beneficial, but ultimately my priority is to have that plan ready this year.
We need dates, we need terms of reference, we need specific objectives within a time frame. And look, the 2011 were the UN guiding principles under a framework of protect, respect and remedy. Let's look at what's happening. Coal, and I apologise for the mispronunciation, coal from the Curryon mines in northeast Colombia are still being used by the ESB despite well-documented human rights abuses associated with the operation of this mine. Airbnb Ireland UC allows the tourism-related businesses based in Israeli settlements to use its platforms to advertise their services, and frontline defenders, who we all depend on, reported 401 killings of human rights defenders in 2022 compared with 358 in 2021. Now, I could go on, I'm not, I've 12 seconds. The importance of a plan. You've given me no reason for the delay 4 solid years. You've given me no reason for a forum come together with no terms of reference, and you've given me assurance, and I trust your bona fides that we'll have a plan before the end of the year. But you can forgive my frustration and my anger in relation to something as important as this.
Margaret, but I have given you reasons because we are engaging. We are engaging with stakeholders. We are engaging to try and get proper terms of reference that can be delivered on and that can be measured. And I think it is important that we have that engagement. That's why the specific instance you referred to, that's why it's also important that we have the Department of Foreign Affairs working with us, that it has a global outlook and a global reach. And through the Responsible Business Forum, I would certainly push these items. But since 2011, we have now CSDD, CSRD, and we can begin to ensure that they are implemented here and that companies abide by them. And I absolutely give you an assurance that we will have a plan by the end of this year, and I would engage with you because you're one of the only deputies that actually engages consistently in this agenda around the timelines on that.